We are here with a simple goal: to take budget whiskeys that you can find just about anywhere and put them together in such a way that you get something that tastes top shelf. This is one of those tricks that I cannot believe more people aren't doing. It's fun, it's relatively easy, and it kind of gives you the same feeling as crafting a cocktail, except at the end of doing the crafting, you get something that is neat whiskey. It's not watered down at all, and most of us, if you're watching this channel, you probably usually prefer neat whiskey. I can't believe more people aren't doing it. This is our base today. It is Wild Turkey 101. If by some chance you haven't heard of this, it's about $20 to $30. It is, of course, 101 proof, and it's one of the best whiskeys in that $20 to $30 price range. At the very least, one of the staples. One of the best, easy to find, available everywhere whiskeys in that price range. This is the control glass that we're going to use to compare to. So this has just the Wild Turkey 101. We're going to improve upon it, hopefully, and then compare back to this glass. So let me give you an idea of what it tastes like in case you haven't had it. And this is also going to help me determine what we're going to grab to try to put with it. Cheers. You've got the standard oaky sweetness, the basic bourbon notes. It's definitely got some vanilla, it's got some oak, even a little bit of a caramel, maybe some cinnamon. It has rye influence to it, a little bit of like a black pepper. And then for me, there's a little something extra on top that I usually consider like orange citrus or even like a squeeze of orange peel. Now, the biggest drawback by far is it leaves bitterness on your tongue. It's got that lower shelf harshness to it. So we want something that we can pair with it that's gonna dry up some of that harshness or maybe distract from it. Let me see what I can come up with. In the spirit of covering up harshness, my mind went to finished bourbons. Now, I'm not saying that that's what Maker's 46 is doing, but it is something kind of in the industry people talk about, you know? If somebody comes out with a finished bourbon, it's like, did you just take one that had a little bit of harshness and you finished it in order to kind of cover that up? I don't think that's the case with Maker's 46, but I absolutely love Maker's 46. It is finished with French oak staves and, of course, available basically everywhere, relatively inexpensive. It should be in the $30 to $40 range. I think it's about 35 bucks in my area. And the French oak adds a sweetness. It adds a cinnamon. It adds a little something extra that hopefully is going to help improve upon this. Almost forgot. Let me give it a good swirling. I want to let them mingle really well. Note that just assembling it as you go like a cocktail is going to taste differently than assembling it in like a bottle and letting it sit for a couple of weeks. It is going to impact the flavor. That's why I call these neat whiskey cocktails. Okay, cheers. Okay, so we're definitely better than Wild Turkey 101. I don't know if we're better than Maker's 46 on its own. So it's an improvement to the Wild Turkey. It's kind of a sideways step from the Maker's 46. It just kind of adds a different flavor to it. Maybe that's citrus, maybe a little bit more of a vanilla. Not bad, not disgusting, thank goodness, but not great. So we need to go to the other end of the spectrum. I've got some ideas. Do you trust me? I need you to trust me, because this is weird, but it might work super duper well. So I'm trying to keep it budget. I'm trying to keep it widely available as well. And I just recently did a tasting, and this was way less harsh than I thought it was going to be for the price. Tullamore Do, okay? This is a blended Irish whiskey. It's finished with sherry casks, and that gives it this nice fruitiness. The biggest thing about Tullamore Do that I've said for years is, for the price, like 20 to 30 bucks, it's so approachable. It's so not harsh. So maybe that'll tame down this Wild Turkey and kind of give it a little bit of a sherry finish type vibe. We're gonna see. Don't ask me why, but as soon as you cross nationalities, you know, you can mix all the American whiskey together that you want. You throw in an Irish whiskey or a Scotch and people just go nuts in the comments. I don't know, but it's good for engagement. So if you're mad about what's happening here right now, throw a comment down there. Also, for those of you who actually really like this and you think that this is fun, throw your recipes down in the comments below as well. If I have what it takes to make it, and if it works, I will put it on a video and I will use that as one of my bases for a video. Okay, we're gonna give it a nice, good mixing together. This is gonna be a little bit lower proof because Tullamore Do is only 40%. It's only 80 proof, so it's gonna tone this down to about a 90 proof. Cheers. I'm gonna be honest with you. That is bad. It has a chemical type taste to it. Now you're not allowed to say that I'm pretending like these work, because this did not. I have an idea. So the malt flavor, the grain flavor of the Tullamore DO was not working at all. But it, for some reason, made me think oaky. Like something oaky would be good. But we don't want it to be very tannic because this already has a little bit of bitterness to it. And what's oaky but still incredibly approachable and not super bitter? Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Now this is venturing into the higher price range, which means we're gonna hold this blend to a higher standard. It needs to taste really good. We'll see if that's the case or not. Ooh, that actually made it visibly darker. Like you can tell that this has something darker mixed into it. Okay, cheers. That is really nice. That is like butterscotch candy, brown sugar, a little hint of like a honey, some black pepper to brighten it up a little bit. You get some of the rye influence from the wild turkey. That is really good. Now here's what I'll say. I don't think it's better than double oaked on its own, but it does make the wild turkey significantly better. Enough better that I think you're still saving money. What I mean is, this is $55, this is like $25. You blend them together, now you're in it for what, $80? So you have two $40 bottles, let's say. This tastes better than a $40 bourbon. Absolutely, hands down, all day and twice on Sunday. That is delicious. What do we do next? Okay. I really want to get something weird, something strange to work in a way that doesn't taste like anything else on my shelf. So we're going to get a little bit more pricey. We've got Barrell Seagrass. This is like an $85 bottle. So this is another situation we're probably not going to taste better than this does, but hopefully we taste significantly better than this does. This is one of my favorite finished ryes, okay? This was the first bottle that I had from Barrell and I just went, that is delicious. That is amazing. You take rye whiskey, you finish it in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. You blend that together. It is delicious. A finished rye and a bottom shelf bourbon get married. Sounds like the opening to a really bad joke. I think they're blended well enough. Let's do this thing. Whoa, dude. We need to compare this to Seagrass by itself. I'm gonna grab another glass. I am smoking through Glencairns today. This is not the only video that I have made today. The Seagrass is light and fruity sweet, and when you add that wild turkey, you get some of the vanilla and the brown sugar. It kind of deepens that sweetness a little bit. But we care more about what it tastes like. Let's start with Seagrass. Fruity, sweet, a little bit of rum influence, but also dried up by that rye spice. Barrell Seagrass for me just says balance. It's just so nicely balanced, and they're not paying me to say that. I wish they were. I would take that money. Let's move on to my creation. Can I be for real with you right now? I'm gonna be real. Which of these you would prefer? Barrell Seagrass or Hybrid Monster? It's almost gonna depend entirely on your opinion. Do you want the lighter, sweeter, fruitier type of a flavor, light sweet, or do you want to add some dark, some oak, a little bit of that corn sweetness, that vanilla influence? Which are you going for? Because this is almost as good as this. This is phenomenal as a blend. There is a trade-off. The trade-off is when you add this Wild Turkey 101, you lose some complexity. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, like you're adding something, how's it get less complex? Because there's a ton of complexity in these three finishes here. And when you add the bourbon, it mutes some of that. Some of what is muted is the rum finish. And rum finish, I think it's done really well on Barrell Seagrass, but I do get a little bit of like nail polish remover from most rum finishes. This covers that up with like oak and vanilla. It deepens that sweetness. It makes it a touch more simple, but really tasty. And then at the end, that Madeira and that brandy come through with like a candy sweetness. It's kind of like berries. It kind of tastes like raspberries or blackberries right at the end, right on the finish. Now, who's not gonna like this? It gets just a touch medicinal in the beginning. That Martinique rum mixed with, maybe it's the harshness of this, I don't really know. It gets just a touch medicinal in the beginning. Once that fades, it is delicious. That's a big win. That's a big dub. Hey, if you like this video, if you enjoy the content, the absolute best way to support the show is to check out the Whiskey Noobs crew in the link in the description below. You're not just supporting me, you're also getting awesome stuff in exchange. You're gonna get access to every single review. Every bottle that I am sent for review, I throw it on the Patreon page. The patrons are the only ones who get it, and I don't have to abide by any algorithms, so I can really give you all of my thoughts in those reviews. You also get priority access to all the barrel picks in the order of whatever tier it is that you join. And of course, it's the best way to support this channel. But if you don't want to do that, I totally understand. Please just like, subscribe, comment down below what I should try next, and ring that notification bell. And it is the best way to support this channel, aside from checking out that Whiskey Noobs crew down in the description below. Thank you guys all for watching this. Let me know what you want to see in the next one. I love doing these. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, Whiskey Noobs.